Verona, another Electric Callboy song is out. So,
Yeah.
you know what we have to do.
We have to do it, and it's been a while. It's been a while.
It has. Well, it has been a while. We've both been crazy busy. You've been up to things. I mean, a couple months ago, you had an album release, and
I mean, it's actually single releases. I'm actually releasing my album like one song at a time. So I released the 4th one in May, then the music video in June. So then I'm preparing the 5th one. So yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It is a lot. It's.
How
I
about
mean,
you?
that's it. For me, there's just been a lot of releases on my end, but not me. I do have a music video coming out. But the main exciting thing is I released a free course, a free like Start Screaming course. But I don't know how much that's going to be valuable to this song because, as we can see in obviously I don't have it here, but the thumbnail, it's like.
Boy, you look like Backstreet Boys.
Yeah. Right. So
I love it.
I'm like, oh, maybe this will be more pop. I mean, we know that Electric Callboy is good at that. So I don't know how relevant it's going to be.
There's always a little scream for you, at least. There's always a little something for you.
Yeah,
I'm sure we will have something.
It
cannot be all pop.
It can't. Well, sure, maybe it is. For anybody who's watching this channel for the first time, the reason we're talking about this is because I am a scream coach. I'm a death metal, deathcore. I teach people how to go, for a living. And Verona handles all things clean, angelic, or powerful belty. Yeah. Here at Kardavox Academy. Well, let's hop into it because we've only got about. This is going to be a shorter video because I've only got about 30 minutes.
All right.
So until we both have lessons we have to get to.
Yes.
Electric Callboy, The Way You Are, official video. Reading this opening frame though, I'm thinking maybe. Anyways, let's just find out. Here we go.
It's not going to stay pop. I don't think so. With the warning? Backstreet Boys
warning.
don't have these warnings.
Well, it kind of reminds me of, well, anyway, okay, let's just keep it.
Okay.
Lovely.
Hey, yeah. Oh. When I look into your eyes, I wanna give you all tonight. Gonna love you more with every single bite.
It's your territory.
Always yours even if I bleed, 'cause you're all that I ever need. I want you to swallow every piece of me. I'm not afraid when I think it's left of me, 'cause it's here that I am melting up inside. I love you just the way you are. When you call your name inside my beating heart, I want you just the way you are. When you pull me into pieces, I just love the way you are.
Okay, let's stop there.
You're tearing up my heart, taking back in my blood. I wanna feel your face in my fucking guts. Still right while you're right.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
Tabarnak, I have to say it.
Whenever you say that, people in the comments are like, "Oh, another Quebecois." Okay.
Okay.
What? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't say tabarouette this time. Okay.
We did now. So, okay. So we've got two songs here. For anybody again this is your first video, the channel focus is vocal analysis. So we do pause to talk about vocals here. That is what we do. So, okay, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking like, yeah, this is a Verona track through and through. But I guess that's not there. So talk to me.
I kind of have a heart attack to deal with right now. Okay.
You know,
like just stopped a little bit. It's back. I'm gonna come back to life. Okay.
I should have been prepped. This is what they do. They hide surprises in their songs. But okay, so I'm hearing, and I'm gonna toss it to you because this is your territory. But I'm not just hearing like clean singing. I'm hearing a very 90s, obviously inspired. Yes. So talk to me about anything you notice with the clean section, because these guys, they're great screamers, but they're great singers as well. So tell me about it.
The fun thing is like there's a lot of people who don't listen to pop usually, and they think singing pop is really easy. but it is not really easy. There's like that R&B feel that you need to get in, especially in the 90s pop, like the like small riffs. It's not like big riffs, but like little 2-3 notes. You need to be fast enough. You need the agility. I've been practicing that with actually it's coming more and more into the heavy metal scene, that way of singing over heavy metal tracks. Like we can think of like Sleep Token and other like Battlemans and all these bands. Like they kind of, you remove, like you change the instrumentation and it could actually be a pop R&B song sometimes, I swear. So there's a lot of agility. Like there's no tension in his voice, and it's like he's in his comfort talking register so far. I mean, in the chorus he does get a little higher and gets into this chest mix voice that we love so much. Mixed voice is like what everybody wants to learn. What is mixed voice? What is mixed voice? There are many types of mixes, like smoothies, you know? It's like many recipes, many type of recipes. But I can tell you a trick if you want to access this, like, because it's not shouty, right? He's not shouting in his in the chorus, even though he gets higher. And a lot of people, when they get higher, they just shout.
Yes.
So to be actually soft in a higher chest voice range demands so much control. And that's what I was telling you. Like, that's what I meant. Like, singing pop is not as easy as you think. Yelling stuff sometimes is just way easier. Like, regular rock, easier than a soft pop, and you need to get a little riff in. So it has to be, you cannot riff if you have tension, by the way. If you're not able to riff, it means you have vocal tension. Just so you know, little
you know,
like that.
What you're talking about here, I think tell me, okay, and obviously we've talked about this many times, so I know the answer, but that me just being like, oh, let's
listening.
not, yeah, it's more for people listening. But
of course.
So does this play into that sort of bright, like it's not nasal? They're not singing, they're not there, but there is some nasality. There is some brightness of tone. There is their voice getting brighter, higher, but not having like that pressed phonation where, you know, those vocal cords are really like, you know, like one thing I see people, and you know, again, I'm not stepping on any clean singing coach's toes here, but one thing I see a lot of tutorials sometimes when talking about clean singing is they talk about going really hard, and I wouldn't start that way. So is that kind of what you're talking about, like this sort of bright mixy range, that spot where they sound forward, not nasally, but some of the carrying quality of that?
So there's like two things. Like the first thing with a student that we want to have first before the tone and everything is just like, do we have access to the register? Like, do we have access to the notes in a comfortable way? So like that first step, I would say, especially for guys, you're gonna need to do like the siren exercise and blending your head voice with your chest voice in the freaking gray zone that we all hate, aka the passaggio, the break. Okay, we all hate it. We all have it. So that's the zone that you have to work most. You have to work it every day. It could be just 2-3 minutes doing like, you can do it in lip trills and humming and on oohs, on anything that feels comfortable to you. So basically I would start with head voice and then sliding back into your chest voice and then coming back into your head voice without hearing the crack. So that's what you have to work towards to get that tone, to that agility, that flexibility in the high chest voice register without the yelling. Because we're gonna implement a little bit of head voice into the chest voice. And how's that? Because basically it's the same pair of vocal cords, right? It's just a little tilt of the thyroid. I'm getting nerdy.
You're getting too nerdy. Yeah.
I'm getting nerdy.
Get nerdy. Get nerdy. Get nerdy. Get nerdy.
Okay, so just so you know, I've been talking a lot about that in other videos, but if you're new here, so basically chest voice and head voice, that's just stuff that we're feeling. We've been telling these terms for hundreds of years before having any science to explain what's happening, right? But now we know, basically, we just have one pair of vocal cords. So it's not like when I was a kid and a teenager, and my first coach was telling me like chest voice, head voice. I really thought it was two things. Like I didn't know anything about. I thought it was like worlds apart. But basically, it's just you're in chest voice, aka your talking voice for most of people, not everybody. Some people talk in head voice. That's another subject. But most male, I would say, talk in chest voice. Your vocal cords are shorter, thicker. That's why we have a bigger sound, kind of. And then when you flip the flip in a head voice, you take like your thyroid cartilage is just going to like you're crying. You feel it in the front. I can even put my hand here. It's between my chin and my larynx, just in between here. It comes forward because it takes the vocal cords and then it stretches them. So they become thinner. So if you don't want the flip, don't do it drastically. You have to do it you have to learn how to do it so freaking slowly. That's the challenge. So we never know that you actually flipped because there hasn't been any flip. It's been so gradual, and that's what you need to practice if you want to do those high chest voice, not loud melodies. Yeah,
I remember when my band Kardashev was working on an album called Liminal Right. There were some sections where just a few times, because it's a metal band, like not like a metal band like this where they incorporate pop and they do it really well. But there were some moments where I had to reach these spaces with my voice. And if you remember very early when you started with Kardavox Academy, you gave me a couple vocal lessons because I was like, I want to see how she teaches. Yeah. I was like, who is this?
It was my test.
Yeah, and it was helpful. It really there are a couple spots on that album where I really had to get into like a brighter, more forward mix, but I didn't want it to be like, ooh. I wanted that power, but I wanted that power without
you have to
belting and shouting. Yeah. I know exactly.
So there's that. Sorry, it was a very long answer. So the first thing is just, can we reach the note? Can we still stay in our talking voice, but just stretch a tiny bit? We're not flipping. We're not doing bloop. We're just like, but we're still, like you would put a camera and we would not even notice that much difference. You know, it's like so tiny, but it's so much easier in your body if you just allow your vocal cords to stretch a tiny bit and to tilt a little bit. So there's that. And then about the nasality that you're hearing and stuff, this is twang, of course. Are they American?
No.
Mm-mm. Okay, but I think they mimic the American accent. Could that be?
Well, I'll tell you, like, that's a big thing. That's a big thing because, like, if you think about boy bands like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys,
I think that's why
they're from here.
Yeah,
they're from the U.S.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's I had that talk with a student. She's like Anglophone Canadian. And she was recording this week in my studio, like her original songs. And she was like, I hate my sound. I was like, okay, well, I couldn't find the problem. I was just like, everything's okay, but you sound American. Like you sound like horizontal, like your vowels are e, a, eh. So if you don't like that, change your vowels. Be more British, like be more like she's doing a song a little like Florence and the Machine vibes. So like, I mean, she's British and like all of her inspirations were British. I mean, that's why you don't like the voice in your arrangement because the vowel shaping doesn't work with the aesthetic you want to have. So, but the like British or even Irish accents are like, I love it. We find it so sexy. So, they still have twang. It's just that the vowels are not horizontal anymore. They are vertical. Just that. So I feel what you're hearing that is bright is like they're really like that in this na 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 instead of na 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 na. I didn't change anything, but I didn't change what I did inside of my throat or anything. I just changed my vowel. Just change my vowels and it changes your tone. So I think that's the kind of nasality that you're hearing. It's because they're still like in the teeth here like that.
And you know, interestingly, and we might hear it, but that is incredibly important for so many high screams.
Oh,
so
yeah. Like you need that, or you need that the vertical or horizontal.
The vertical, you know.
Maybe that's why I have a hard time. I prefer to sing like vertical with the scream.
Yeah,
so
like this.
For my screams, I should be American.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no one way to scream. You know, there's no one way to do it. It's a very rules free. It's a very rules free thing. But let's see. Let's because it sounds like this song is split almost directly in half.
So that was my take. So guys and girls and everybody else, practice your break. It's the freaking worst zone to practice. So just do. And then, it's the morning for me. I woke up super late. So it's like, oh, there's a little gap. So I just keep practicing it for like 5 minutes, removing that gap, changing my vowels. And then you do the song. Okay, that's it for me. Your turn now.
All right, let's go. Well, you can't see it on my screen, but he obviously loved listening to your insight because it looks like he's looking up at you like this.
Oh, I see it.
Screen.
I see everything.
Well, I mean, from the angle here, I'll show you. From the angle that I can see it in Discord. Look at the screenshot. That's a. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. It doesn't matter. Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah, I get the idea.
All right, so I'm gonna.
Disgusting.
It's hilarious.
It's freaking disgusting.
It's metal. It's got to be a little gross.
Oh, you guys are crazy.
So, well, that I will never say that's not true.
Okay, yeah.
I will never say that's like. Listen, is everybody who listens to metal crazy? That's not a fair assessment. But I will say
depends what type of metal, I guess.
The vast majority of people that I know who like metal, myself included, they're little,
My God, no, it's the eating part. Like it was with these headphones. I got like shivers and oh my God, I almost puked. Oh my God, I just ate breakfast. Oh my God, no.
Well, your breakfast is about to return. Okay, so I think this is the that. I've not listened to Electric Callboy's entire discography. So, I might be a little bit out of my element here, or I might be a little bit inaccurate. But this is like the heaviest I've ever heard them. And it's interesting because they've never done like deathcore. Right. And deathcore is a broad genre. It means a lot of different things. But one thing that I'm hearing is a lot of modern deathcore sounds in the instrumentation. Right. One thing that got really popular like 5 or 6 yeah, 5 or 6 years ago was like symphonic deathcore. So strings and you know, bum 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 bum, or like a chorus, oh, like in the background. So it almost had like that symphonic feel of like a movie mixed into the metal, paired with a lot of these like big staccato hits, like acting as a really good anchor for a lot of symphonic sounds. That's like something that you heard a lot. Mental Cruelty, Shadow of Intent did a little bit. Lorna Shore, of course. There's a band, people watching the channel will know. Disembodied Tyrants, Synestia, they did a split. So there's just a lot of that. Like there's research and homework that has been done. And you know, I'm sure these guys listen to a wide variety of music anyway. Also, this is the first time I've ever really heard them do like squelchier, nastier noises, right? So one thing that some people love it, some people hate it. I'm more in the camp of loving it. Are noises that, for lack of a better term, are really hard to, or they're hard to pin down with a term, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Like he did like this, like sort of just like, you know, and sometimes people will be like, oh, how did he do that? You know, the students will come to me and they'll have like this specific sound that a deathcore vocalist does that just sounds like, and they're like, what technique is that? Yeah, no, but yeah, precisely. And so like with that, like, because I know in my lessons and in my group sessions, people are going to ask about that. People are going to ask about that sound. And legitimately with those types of things, it's best to take technique. Don't worry if it's false chord. Don't worry if it's fry. Think about the end goal of what you want it to sound like.
Act it like an actor.
Yeah, that's, you know, like if I do something like really squelchy, like I go, I have no, like, I don't know what I would call that. Like what technique? Hell, who knows, right?
Yeah.
With that being said, they're also still sticking to a lot of. There was also like a bleh, right? A bleh, 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 right? I'm not saying that this is the first bleh they've ever done, which you know, that's literally just bleh. You say bleh with pretty much, right, with distortion, right? Yeah, see,
he's a good teacher.
Being around,
can't scream now.
Just the proximity has helped, right? But you know, those things, you can't run a whole song on blast. You can't run a whole song on you know, squelches and choked off sounds. So you know, they're doing a lot of other things that they do very well. These sort of pitch perceptible shouting, like shouting vocals, where I do it, you know, differently. I have a different method of onsetting my vocalization, but or my screams, but like rather than being like as pure texture as possible, they have like a little bit of they have voice, the sound of voice coexisting, which I think is really smart for them to have leaned in on that. I mean, that's the way that we hear the screams with Electric Callboy.
Do you think there are layers of screams in the productions?
I mean, probably, but that doesn't really have anything to do with the presence of true chord phonation, audible true chord phonation in your screams. If there are layers, I doubt that they're being done to achieve, because pitch screams are like a big part of the metal world. Like, you know, being able to, that has what I call low perceivable pitch, meaning that in a mix, you can't really hear the sound of my voice, versus, there's
a note.
Yeah,
there's some vocal cords in this one. Yeah,
exactly. So, are there layers on these screams? Probably, because that makes them sound big and full and it lets you do cool things. Is it to allow that pitch to exist? Probably not. Highly doubt it.
No, but it's not for the pitch. It's just because I was like, your scream sounds like super heavy, but theirs sounds like humanly like impossible to create just with one. I don't know. They sound so large, and sometimes the vocal production, people forget about that. Even with the clean singing, there's like they forget that we have compressor. They forget that we can layer a lot of like different, like the same note with different takes to make it sound so large. So just have that in mind. It's just a little thing I wanted to add. That
a lot of what they do for a lot of what they do for their screams are basically just really strategic shouts. And when I'm sure that people are going to be in the comments, but like if we go back and we listen to like where this started, you can kind of hear it.
Close my eyes and just listen.
Now, that's not to say that there's no technique here. That's not to say that they're just yelling, but it is to say that the balance of pressure and the balance of air in the body is very similar to going like, "Hey, yo, what's up? Jesus, fuck, what the hell are you doing, man?" Right? It's that, but then refined for singing. Similarly, in concept, it's how if I go, "Hey, yo, what's up, dude? Hey." That's not singing, but if I hold on to it, "Hey, yo, what's up, man?" Now it does sound like singing, right? So it's we can take things and we can refine them. We can refine them to work musically. So check this out. Yeah, close your eyes and you'll be able to see like, oh yeah, I hear underneath that this is more focused on sounding like a human shout than it is sounding like a demon in hell. This isn't exactly what he's doing, but hey, go, right? It's much more based on a shout. But we both have lessons in 10 minutes. Let's skip to the severed head section. Let's skip to the severed head section because I want to see how this song closes out. That's so funny. And you know,
I'm
it's
actually
funny.
okay. I don't have a lesson right away. It's okay.
Oh, okay. It's just me then.
I don't teach on Fridays. Woohoo! For the summer.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So I love how they're going back to the boy band trope of the stools, except now it's their head on the stools. I think that's hilarious. I think that's so funny. That's one thing I'll always say about Electric Callboy, because I know they're not for everybody. And even me, it took a little time for me to warm up to them because I'm not generally into like silly music, and these guys are very silly. But they're very like I feel like they're very witty. I think they're very smart in their jokes. But anyways, let's hear it.
That's very metal.
Yeah. And now more.
Where you are, when you call your name inside my beating heart, I want you just the way you are. When you pull me into pieces, I just love the way you are.
Okay, so that was it.
Cool. It finishes with a nice. So that's exactly the type of tone that I was talking about. I call it the chest mix because he starts from his chest talking voice, but it's so light. So instead of "I'm not just the way you are," na da 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 da, like full chest, it's like, is it head? Is it chest? It's kind of, I don't know. It's a mix. So and it's not head. Just the way you are. Da, 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 da. A little closer, but not there yet because I'm not connected to my talking voice anymore. So it's like you take your chest voice, if you want to practice that at home, you like and you bring the volume down without flipping into head voice, because a lot of people will bring the volume down and it just flips. It's like you see, whoop, flip. So just the way you are. So it's like, keep it for yourself. Don't even try to project. You're like, So anyways, seems it's harder than it looks.
It is harder than it looks. You know, it's interesting because a lot of people don't realize when they start screaming, and in fact, this is something that comes up in the comments on the videos a lot, is that being able to sing lightly like that, or not like that, but being able to sing lightly is really valuable for metal vocals too. Because one thing that I do now, I don't teach students this with the goal of having a beautiful head voice or a beautiful mix, but I have a handful of exercises that we do, and I'll speed show you real quick. Now, these aren't necessarily going to make you sound beautiful, but I want to show how there's a parallel, right?
Yeah,
so,
of course.
So let's say I'm going to do something like, it's very important that I am able to enter that sound without too much pressure, without too much force, without too much aggression. And one way that does not make it easy, but makes it make sense is to enter that from Now, does that sound beautiful? Would I sing that way on a record? No. But is it this bright, kind of mixy forward sound? Yeah, it is. Right. And so there are a handful of ways I help students get there. The first one is we do like I'm sure you've seen this before, like a very stereotypical, like my big macho dudes, they always have a hard time with this because they feel a little insecure, which is fine. We all, but we talk in this like very stereotypical, like California, like, oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I know. Yeah, we talk like this
know.
and we talk about the beach and California.
Oh
and
my
all these
God,
things.
they must be so shy when you ask them to do that.
They are.
Oh my God.
They're like, I feel so weird. And I was like, feel weird. It is weird, right? But then eventually, it's so funny. Eventually, I'll have like these big like bodybuilder dudes with tattoos, and I'll be like, we'll start the lesson, and I'll be like, so how's that voice been doing? And they're like, oh my God, Mark, it's doing so well, right? And yeah.
Yes.
But the value is what we do is we take this silly voice, we take this, and then we go, imagine you had a realization. Imagine something just made sense, and you go, oh.
Yeah, and then head voice. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because when you bring them to talk like that, I also have an exercise, a similar exercise. It's just and when you get them to talk with that like really high pitched chest voice, it's not like heavy. We're not shouting. We're just like, oh my God, this is so pretty. I'm so happy.
Precisely.
It's still my chest voice, but then you're really closer to your break. Because sometimes these guys, like, I know Kardavox, it's mostly dudes. mostly. So I'm kind of now a specialist in the coaching dudes, and they don't want to. They want to sound like rah, and they have that deep voice. So the break is so far away from their talking voice, right? They speak so low usually, like hello, la, 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 la. And I'm like, where is your head voice? Like, I don't have a head voice. I'm like, yeah, you have it. You have one. So yeah, but it's just a little further away than mine because I'm already, my chest voice is already like 1 or 2 octaves higher than yours, right? So, and we have a similar head voice register, like male and like feel the register is a couple of notes, like the break is really close to each other, which would surprise a lot of people. But yeah, so that's a very fun exercise. You should try it. Try it at home.
One thing you can do, again, this is going to get you just to the space. It's not going to sound beautiful, but for I've actually been using this exercise a lot this past few weeks, but helping students get to, hey, the space, right? Helping students get there because it's useful. Right?
For high screams, yeah,
it's useful. If my dudes are too uncomfortable, if they're too uncomfortable being like, hey Mark, good to see you again, what we do is we do monkey noises. So I have them put their hands on their ribs. Most of the time, by this point, they already know about appoggio. They already know about their ribs staying open. So the reason I actually do that is to just give them mentally something to think about other than feeling insecure. This doesn't really do much of anything other than distract them. And we do monkey noises. We do, we do.
Of course you do that.
And then
look at that, breaking down into your chest voice, no crack.
Well, there was a, I will never, I don't know about never, but I will always have a little bit of a crack because on my side of the aisle, the voice crack is kind of useful for us. So my students, they'll always be like, oh, I got to get rid of my vocal break. I'm like, well, that depends on what you're trying to do. And if you want to get rid of your vocal break, we have someone to help you right here.
Yeah, I practice both. Like, it's like, for example, like Adele's songs, okay? When she flips in the head voice and comes back. Sometimes she has a big break, like we hear it because it kind of give us a cry moment, like really. But sometimes you don't even know she flipped like 4 times in the same sentence. So it's like you need both.
I wish we had more time. We legitimately we can save this question for the next one, but I just that's a question that I have for you that maybe you can answer at a later time. Is oftentimes I get students from somewhere they've learned that the vocal break is like a sin. And
I know.
I like,
I think it comes from classical and opera.
it must, because I can like,
Yes.
yeah, if you want to sing those, then of course you wouldn't want that. But to me, when I hear that, that's like somebody saying, oh, you know, salty food is a sin. I'm like, okay, but sometimes you need a food to be a little extra salty. Like, so when students are like their voice, like I've literally had students, we're not even working on their singing voice, but their voice will crack and they'll be like ashamed of themselves. I'm like, who the hell is in your head right now? Like,
I know. We have to undo so much work from like bad coaches. I don't know about you, but it's like sometimes I have people that've been taking singing lessons for 9 years and they have like all those like mental negative thoughts and just like things they think they should sound like and not sound like. I'm like, put that away. Like, just have fun and just explore the amazing instrument that you have inside of yourself.
Yeah, you know, I think that I'll tell you this. I have, kind of building on what you said. For me, obviously, the harsh metal vocal coaching world is much smaller compared because it's newer. It's blown up exponentially in the past 2 years.
Yeah,
but it's much smaller. And I'll tell you that it is I do get students who work with other coaches who come to me. It's almost never because they had a bad experience with that coach. It's more so they just want a new perspective.
Yeah.
Or that coach is on tour or they're taking a break, so they need to work with somebody else. That's fairly common.
Yeah. And it's good to try other coaches. Like, it is, but it's very rare
that I feel like I have to undo another coach's bad instruction.
Okay.
And I think that it does happen sometimes, but I think that, and usually, you know what happened, because I know a lot of those other coaches personally. Like, I know, like, many of us talk, like we have like Discord chats where we're all hanging out. And oftentimes when I am quote unquote fixing, it's not actually that they were getting bad instruction. It's more so that they were just having a hard time understanding the concept. So maybe the communication wasn't, but it's not like the coach was other coaches.
No, me, it's crazy.
You know?
Like, I have students who were thought like, oh yeah, this is your chest voice, but it was just a loud head voice. And the student never sang in chest voice for 9 freaking years.
Whoa.
Girls usually. Because
interesting.
They have a coach. I say, yeah, Coach Pop, but basically it's an opera singer. So for women in opera, you sing on basically almost only with your head voice. And the chest voice is way weaker. It's for the low notes, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, they just been doing just head voice. And then they're like, why do I sound weak in my lows? Why don't I have lows? I was like, because you're not even using the chest voice. Like, it's crazy. And it's a long process, because imagine you're like 27 years old. You've been taking lessons for 9 years old and you've never used your chest voice. It's like never used your legs. It's like we have to. It's real. And on the other side, I have guys. It's the opposite. They've just used the chest voice and now they cannot stretch anymore. And they're like, I'm stuck to it. And then like, go into your head voice. Like, yeah, but that's falsetto. And falsetto means fake voice in Italian. So that's really negative. I don't use falsetto. I don't like this term. It's just, it's a head voice. So I come from my perspective of like female opera training. It's the falsetto that we train so much, it becomes super, super loud as your chest. So you have power in everywhere you want, basically, in all your register. But yeah, I undo stuff so much. It's crazy. Anyways.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if part of it is because I can't speak for every other metal vocal coach, but I know that for me and many of the coaches I know, we're a lot less focused on doing things like the right way and a lot more focused on finding something that sounds cool, is meeting your goals, and is also being kind to your voice. So, you know, and that's actually one thing I'm sort of running into. I'm starting, anybody's watching the channel, I'm starting to do more tutorial content, and I'm starting to realize, actually, I have 2 that are pre-recorded, so I can't change them, but I'm starting to realize I need to work that into my tutorials, because people are watching them and being like, this is the 10 commandments. I have to do it this way. And if it doesn't feel right for me, then I am wrong and I am bad. And like, yo, Whoa. These are
Mhm.
all just crazy guidelines. And if something feels like it doesn't work, like you legit just don't, you can find another way. Like,
Exactly.
so anyways, all right, speaking of, I gotta
Mhm.
go. But this was a crazy song. Thank you for making
Oh
time
my
for
God,
this.
I'm gonna do
Yeah.
nightmares. I'm gonna have
It was-
nightmares.
You will have nightmares, and I'm glad. Good. No, I'm kidding. All right. Thank you all for
But it was
watching.
a good talk. Good talking
was-
to you.
It was a good talk. It was a little rushed on my end, so I apologize to anybody who might have felt that. But I appreciate
I
you all
think they
for
might
being
have
here.
a good video to enjoy. I think they might. It's
Well, we're
it's
gonna
long
put
enough.
it up. We're gonna put it up anyway. All right, Verona. Thank you for your
Yeah.
time. We'll talk soon. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, take care. Bye.